Coffee in hand, Saturday morning. Thanks for coming around and tuning in. So we got, I guess, an interesting topic. We've talked about it before, and I guess I'll touch on something else for me as far as decisions I made. But anyway, we're going to be talking about safe queens. Why would anybody own a safe queen? Why would you want a safe queen? Do I think in some point are I think a lot of us do own at least one. I think a lot. I think their percentage of us at least have one. Some people, that's all they have got. That's it. They just got safe coins. But as you guys know, I kind of moved more into that realm of if I can't take it to the range and enjoy it, then I really don't want it. Yeah, at the same time, I enjoy having certain things, but I do want to take it to the range. We'll elaborate a little bit more on this after your comments. So thanks for tuning in to the Collectors Radio Show every Saturday morning. We appreciate it. Those of you that are clicked on this and wondering what in the world are we doing? Am I wasting my time? You probably are. There's a little X right up there. You just click that. This show is for all of you that know who you are. You tune in every week and you're always commenting, or maybe not commenting, but you're still here. That's what's important, and we appreciate that. We always appreciate the fact that you're here every week, every Saturday to tune into our show and stick around, hang out. Being maybe you're driving home after a long 14 hours days that I'm sure are getting boring and tiring, without a doubt. Those of us that are in the trenches, the 9 to 5ers, are in that case beyond that. But hopefully, be safe and drive safe. Watch out. A lot of fools on the road driving around. I think you know who you are. We're talking about. But we appreciate that. We appreciate you, tuning in on either your ride home or maybe you're editing some videos to put on your channel, stuff like that. So again, much appreciation out there. Time is time is definitely one of those things where there's not a whole lot of it. Boy, we sure know that, don't we? We try to get as much done in the day that we can, and so there is only so much of that there is to do, and we can allocate time to do this and do that and all that. To quote one of my heroes, is there is no free time, there is no downtime, there is only lifetime. Go. All right. So up first here, I got Keith. Keith that says, good morning, and thanks for the extra videos last week. Yes, Evil Dead and They Live are excellent movies. Yes, absolutely. The first Evil Dead, I tell you, I love those movies where during a time where they had nothing. They had a shoestring budget, and they just went ahead and just did it. It's like, hey, let's just throw this together and watch what happens, and the magic goes. I think they pulled out every stop in that one, including like claymation type deals and all that. Just crazy. Such a slapstick approach to it too, because director Sam Raimi of Evil Dead was very much into Three Stooges. As so am I. I love the Stooges. Those guys just they're a riot. So They Live. Obviously. Probably noticed behind me that I'm a big fan of that movie. I remember seeing it for the very first time, renting it on videotape, and just being floored by it. All right. Jeffrey Richardson, good morning. Great conversation with you today. We appreciate that. From last week's show. And Crazy Scotsman says, rent you a cement mixer from your local Home Depot. It'll make it much easier. Yeah, definitely. You're right. I got a friend of mine that actually lives right up the road from me that has one. He's offered me to borrow it. I might just take him up on that. I'm not sure yet. Um, I'm approaching this slowly and seeing what works out for me. Different strokes, different folks, what you're talking about, Willis. Just seeing what works out. Just seeing what is easier. I'm trying to think, is it easier for me to just dump the bag into the mixer? I don't have the best back in the world. So doing this as a one-man crew most of the time now, it's been brutal. It has not been easy. And so I'm trying to think, is it, what is the best approach for me? But I do appreciate the input on that. Slim Fire, always good to see and hear from Slim Fire here. Morning, JW, and I hope all is well with you. Yes, when you have a home, there's always something to fix or replace, and sometimes you have some extra money, you remodel something in the home. That's what it is. I'm just trying to. There's ideas that I had ever since the day one, and I've just, and only now, 4 years later is it coming together. I'm like trying to, like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want this. I don't want this to look like a storage area. I want this to actually be a really cool area to hang out and drink coffee, and possibly move this show to that location. That is going to be the bee's knees for me. So hopefully you can get that done, and then we can actually move this show to that area, and it'll be a little bit better. Hoping, I'm looking to do some improvements, not just for the location where the show is being taped, but different camera work, audio, all that stuff. So stick with me, folks. I know, we're running the shoestring budget the way we do it right now, and we're hoping to improve that. So all it takes is money. Anyway, but that there's never enough of that, is there? At least not in my wallet or my account. It's like, oh, the cost of gas and the groceries is up. Not in my bank account. All right, and Slim also like those grips. Hopefully you check that out. 50 Shades of Yellow. Man, I tell you, there's so many different variations of the John Wayne grips, and the yellow and the not so yellow, too yellow, orange. And it changed in his movies, I think. If you actually watch, like I was talking about, the first couple, War Wagon, Sons of Katie Elder, then you could fast forward to like something like Big Jake or Cahill U.S. Marshals, the grips got darker. So probably with age, maybe he was, as they quoted, tea-stained them further. I don't know. So anyway, all right, Mickey here. Batjack JW, I agree. Life can be overwhelming. At my age, 14 hours a day. Yes, that is brutal, my friend. Plus the hour drive time to work back and forth. The work is overwhelming. From an older guy ready to retire from almost 45 years of full-time work between two different jobs. A little advice: just don't spread yourself too thin before the work fatigue gets to you. Slow life down. The only to only the necessary. I had to scroll up here. Oh, why did it not pop up? To only the necessary, and do a little more of what you enjoy and love. Blessing to you, your Batjack JW posse. That is wonderful advice. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for sharing some such like that. That is very important to remember. Uh, Try to spend a lot of time in your life doing a lot of things that you really like doing and enjoy doing, and try not to fill your life with so much stuff that you just dread. And I understand that's the hard ticket of it. It's almost like a catch 22, because you gotta kind of do one thing to be able to, have things you enjoy or want. So it is kind of that, thing. But it is important also, I think, because I knew so many people that would burn the candle at both ends and the middle. So it's just like, before you know it, it's all just, you know. All right. This is from DFW. I'm sorry, Wivlin. DFW Living. Sorry. It says, always pleasant to wake up to another video. Good morning from Dallas, Texas. Oh, man. That is so cool. I love hearing, we have so many people from all over the place, all over the states, Dallas, Texas, to Australia, to all these places that we got people listening in and tuning into from. I really appreciate that. And, I love barbecue, and I know that Texas is a place to go for barbecue. Have not been there yet. Hopefully one day. Good buddy of mine that has a YouTube channel, the Mr. Gun Enthusiast himself. He is from Texas. And he has some really cool dogs, and he has a cool channel. He does mostly shorts these days, but he's a good guy, really good brother of mine. All right. I was wondering what your thoughts are on the original Colt Anacondas, the original ones from the 90s, assuming you're referring to. I never owned one. I didn't own one. But, but, to what I've gathered, my information that people have fed to me that actually had one and all this stuff, and I actually have a buddy that has the new one. Um, I hear the new ones are much improvement, and from what I checked out, and of course, obviously, I'm a big fan of the new Python. Um, the new ones are much of an improvement over the old ones. I heard the old ones were from, and it wasn't just from one source; it was from many sources. That the older anacondas were quite atrocious. Maybe in the trigger pull, the action, or whatever. They just didn't. They didn't. I guess the reputation with them, or they didn't. They didn't live up to the pythons, that were out, and all the other, the diamondback and all that, but especially the python, it's held in such high regard. Um, but I didn't personally experience it. I didn't actually personally have one and fire it at the range or work the action or anything like that. So I can't speak on that. But I have heard of people like favor the other ones over it. Me, I'm if I had designs on getting one, I would probably go with the new one more than likely. I mean, it's just more common sense, availability, price, and if it's anything like the Python, I mean, which it is. I mean, it's my buddy has one. It durable. I don't personally am. I'm not a fan of it. I was thinking about it. I did, but then when my friend bought one, he bought a 6-inch Anaconda. Um, it just for me, it was a massive revolver. It just really is. It's such a beefcake of a revolver. So for me, for my stature, it just felt like just kind of, I don't know. It just didn't match for me. My buddy's 6 foot. He's in very good shape, weightlifter, everything. So he can, for him, wheeling the thing is like really not too bad. Me, I'll stick with the Model 29. I think it's massive enough. you know, um, but yeah, you know what? There's always the cool factor of the original stuff, though. You can't take that away from them. There is still that cool factor of the old original, Colts and stuff like that. Even though the new ones may or may have not uh, surpassed it. That's in jest. That's so that's opinion. There's a lot of that stuff that I feel like I'd rather own. But there is a cool factor of the old stuff. Definitely not knocking it. I wouldn't knock it. I don't want to knock anything that I really don't have any experience with. So that's always that too. You get so much people that are they've they live on such contrived things that they're just like I don't know. It's mostly always found the gun counters. Um, anyway, hopefully I know. Hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully it wasn't too convoluted or going a long way around the bush for you. But that's I guess that's kind of my input on it. That's what I've heard over the years. I spent close to 15 years working gun counters, being around that stuff constantly on a daily basis, and that's just kind of the information that I remember going around and around and around. Again, a lot of that stuff, and folks out there, when you're at counters and gun shops, take things in stride. Don't don't take it in as like solid concrete stuff. A lot of it, do your research, figure things out on your own, come up with your own conclusions. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of people on both sides of that counter that can be really overwhelming, truly ego driven, which the ego and the self aggrandizing and all that stuff and that like superiority type feeling and the wannabe drill instructor or whatever, all that. And there's definitely the tactical, like approach to things, which is fine if that's your gig. Then cool, it's not mine. Um, you know, I guess I don't know, whatever they call somebody like me. I like my old school firearms. Um, you know, as a younger person, I mean, younger than the, you know, the, I don't know. I keep saying I'm younger, but I'm getting to that point where I'm not exactly anymore. But but I still, you know, I mean, I look up to the old folks, and you know, always, you know, like my buddy, I carry one, man. You know, he's, you know, taught me and told me a lot of life things that he experienced over life, and you know, I take that in from somebody that's lived it. You know, it's like, oh, God, this guy actually went and made that mistake. He's telling you don't go on that tunnel down there because it sucks. I've been down there 5 times, you know. So, but anyway, see, I told you we just ramble on this channel. Swig of coffee for Joe because Joe says, "Good morning. Really disappointing to hear about the Cobra Colt falling apart. Hard to believe that 9mm could weaken the slide that much. I wonder if you got a bad one, or were they all like that? Are they all like that?" Yeah, I wondered that myself because the slide to frame on that thing is just stupid loose. I don't know why, and I understand that there's going to be some play to it, and it doesn't, you know, it's not really affected. But I'm like, okay, this is a new Colt government model that I've had for, I don't know. I mean, since it came out, I went to the when I heard about these out, I went out and seeked one out. Excuse me, seeked one out and found it. Okay, it rattles. It's got some movement, but it's not really dramatic. You know, I mean, you know, it's got some slop to it, and I've shot a lot of rounds through this thing. I really did. Whenever, you know, this is one of my favorite 45 blasters. I know I don't shoot a lot of 45 much anymore, but when I do, I usually take this one. And I'm happy. I mean, yeah, it's got a little bit of shake to it. You know, you can hear it, but it's not. I don't know what it is about that Gold Cup, but that thing is. It's like twice this rattle. I don't know. I put it in my Wilton and I've cranked it down a little bit on the slide. I'm no expert at doing stuff like that, so I'm kind of cautious on doing that. But I don't know. I really don't know. So I just anyway. All right, safe queens. Is it dumb to have a safe queen? Is it stupid? Is it pointless? Do we all have one? Do we secretly have one? I know I've mentioned that I got rid of a lot of mine. There was ones that I had that I would just like, okay, you know what? It's just I don't like feeling like I got a white glove and take it out or anything like that. Okay, what's it? You know, I showed you the workhorse. I showed you my favorite one, the range gun, and I love it because I enjoy it so much. I enjoyed it at the range. I don't, you know, like we can take it out here on a table, play with it, mess with it. You know, it's empty. You know, we're just racking the slide, just feeling it, enjoying it. You know, maybe watch Steve McQueen and The Hunter and you know, feel like you want to get a green jacket and run around your living room with it. So anyway, and then there's stuff like this, brand new, well, new for, you know, the market, a Colt Python. This is the 2.5 Python that they did. Oh my goodness, is this thing just gorgeous? Colt does a great job. They really know how to finish these firearms. I don't have a lot of stainless guns. This is one of them, and it is gorgeous because you would think this was nickel plated. It's not. It's stainless. It's polished. It's beautiful. Uh, but guess what? I'll still shoot it. I'll still take it to the range, and we'll still run rounds, and it'll get dirty, and I'll have to put a bunch of ballistol on it and wipe it back down, but I will still shoot it. I got a golden oldie here. So this one here is a Browning High Power. Yeah, this is a Browning High Power T-Series. This is one of the very first high powers I ever laid my eyes on. Not this exact one, but this model. And ever since then, I set out to try to get one. And later did I find out, and I always find this out, that the taste that I want, it always happens to be some ridiculously one that people just price it out in the market a lot of times. And this is one of them. So anyway, yeah, this one, yep, I'll still shoot it. It's gorgeous. It's got a bluing job on it that is pretty. It looks a lot like a python. It's really that inky blue, kind of nice, real classic. I liked it because also it's got the really low profile sights. Hard to see it, but I don't know. I like the look of it, But I'll still shoot it. You can say that, it's not one that's it's a semi safe queen. How about that? I don't necessarily take it out all the time. But all right, and you guys know I'm a Colt fanboy. I've already admitted that many times. I gotta always gotta remember. I gotta admit that. Okay, here it is. This is the one and only that I've got that is a safe queen. It is a true safe queen in my collection that I still own. A lot of stuff I own that I still own that I collected over the years. It's been for a personal reason for myself. I wanted to impress one person, me. That's it. I didn't care. I didn't give a rip what anybody else thought, or I didn't do it to impress them or to go, hey man, look at what I got. And that's so that vanity is just not for me. Um, you guys ran into that person at the shops or whatever at the counter, and he's just the person's like we call them the list people, right? I've got 14 of those, 17 of that, a case of them, and blah, blah, and it's like I remember when the primers were like really hard to find. I mean, they're now you can find them, but you're gonna pay for them, but not as bad as it was. But it's like always the shop would have like a couple bricks of primers. They're limiting one or two packets to people, and the guy would be arguing about the price and why you're limiting and blah blah blah. And they say, well, because we got to have everybody. And he says, well, good thing I got 14,000 cases in my garage. Go figure. Okay. Anyway, here we go. Look at this thing. This is my one and only safe queen. You can tell already what it is. It's a Colt. No big surprise. Okay. Um, I don't store it in this box. I put this box back together for our viewing pleasure, right? It's got the cool manual. This and all the tags is a World War One reproduction Colt that I actually am a glutton with this because I own two. This is the safe queen. The other one that I own is a shooter. It's the first one I ever bought. I got wind that they had these out far too late in the game. By the time I learned that they were out, the market was gone. You couldn't, this was once a catalog item, but then it just disappeared, and that was it. You couldn't get them anymore. This one particularly is the Carbonia Blue one. I came across this almost on accident because I wasn't really looking, but it was brand new in the box, unfired, and all that stuff. The slide hasn't even been racked on it. Okay, so and I don't do that. It's beautiful. It's one of the ones that I just had to have for the collection. It was pristine, and it was one I chased for a very long time. I chased this thing when I originally was after it for like years. I just couldn't find one. And it was just out of pure luck that a buddy of mine in the industry had gotten a hold of one. But this one here was for just my own personal collection. I was like, you know what, I have to have this thing. So when it popped up for sale, I just went ahead and snagged it up. They're not super duper rare. You can find one. You can scour the broker sites and just find one. You're gonna have to have some money to do it. They're, I don't know, they're getting priced out really stupid now. But I scooped this one up. For me, it's just a thing. I like having it. I like having one that's pristine. It's just really cool. I'm a fanatic about the Colt 1911. It's probably clearly shown. In fact, if you don't believe me, check out my video called For a Few 1911s More. So anyway, this is definitely one of those that I just, like I said, by the time I found out about them, I was late to that game. So I'm extremely blessed to have the two that I've got. I know I'm a glutton. It's like, oh, shame on him. He's got. But one I shot it a lot. and I enjoyed it. It's, you know, it's a little worse for wear, but when this one came up, I just had to have a pristine one because my other one was definitely beat up. So there it is. That's the one jewel that I've got that is in the collection. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this week's show. I won't take up too much of your time. I appreciate everybody hanging out. And you know, I mean, we're just having fun here. Don't, you know? I know we threw some jabs at some of the stuff at the counters and everything, but sometimes it's just, I mean, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Sorry if you disagreed with that and thought I was just throwing shade at that, but you know, I'm not like that. I like to just kind of just live it, laugh it, and go forward, man. And, you know, just like just too much of that kind of behavior, I guess, or that kind of mentality. I don't know. I just like to just, you know, it's like, dude, I mean, just take it for what it's. It's cool, you know, enjoy it, whatever, or you know, what have you. Some people don't get that. Some people just think that they always, like, you know, they maybe they perceive you as, you know, like you're unhappy or something. Yeah, you know, maybe it's not that. Maybe it's being around you makes me unhappy. I don't know. So anyhow, thanks for tuning in.